everybody, welcome back to Trash Skittle Fab, and working on a 32 here again today. Gonna try to finish up the floors here for you guys. So let me show you what I got started on here. All right, so the last part of the floor we need to work on is that cover that goes over the bell housing. So you can see, did a little cardboard template there, got my poster board out, and got it started. So I'm gonna take that, transfer that over to steel, and we're gonna work that. I don't know if I can try to roll it, just bend it around, or maybe put on the English wheel, whatever I gotta do. So I'm gonna get started on that for you guys and see what we can come up with. All right, guys. So off camera there, I went ahead and I just bent this piece here. You saw I had the template there, cut it out, and just basically bent it around my knee. Got it to fit up against the firewall where I had made the flange once before, earlier videos, and then the back part just kind of made it fit the floor. So it's pretty rough right now, but what I want to do, as you can see there, I don't know if you can see from there or not, but I scribed a line on here, 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to attempt to use my tipping dies again and roll up a flange on this, probably have to use my stretcher to get this to go. But I'm going to start with this up against the firewall, and then I'll move back to here to get this to fit on the tunnel. So it's not about you, Dre. So we're gonna take a watch, guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can do here. Not sure if this is gonna work because never done this before, and it's gonna be probably a hell of a stretch to make this go, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, very first pass there with the tipping dies, kind of see how it started to roll up. And I think it's going to work just fine. I'm going to go ahead and take my stretcher here and work it on this flange to get a little more give, so I can let it keep going. It'll take probably a few passes to do this, so I figured I'll stretch it a little bit, and we'll just keep going back and forth until we got what we need. I'm gonna run it through here again. When I was stretching it, it seemed like it was moving around, so I'll probably take a little bit of both shrinking, stretching, and the tipping dies, and hopefully we'll get keep the shape that we need to have up against the firewall and keep it as tight to the bell housing as possible because there's so little room in this car. So I'm gonna keep working this, and hopefully have this flange done here shortly. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but it's getting pretty close. It's getting a little funky on that part. You can see there. So that might take some stretching probably to get our curve back there. So I'll stretch this again, and we'll keep working this out, and hopefully we can get this where it needs to be. So you guys saw that last clip there. I was working on getting this flange in here, and the tipping dies and my shrinker and stretcher, and I got a pretty decent fit there. So I got it back in the car here, as you can see, and it is currently under the floor. Also did a little off-camera work here where I put this patch panel back in here. This is where I had lowered the motor and transmission for the corrected pinion angle. So I went and got that in there, and now I got something that's nice and solid to grab to. So it's back in here. Took in some tweaking, pushing, pulling, whatever, but getting pretty close. It's wanting to push the firewall a little bit. I think once I get the flange in there, it'll let some of that pressure off, let the firewall kind of move or kind of stay solid where it needs to be. You can see the idea I came up with here. This is where the starter bolts are on the Dodge. They come in from the back, and I want to make sure I can get to those. Again, that's why I'm having this removable, so I can get to the starter, and I can also get to the bell housing bolts underneath the pull transmission, motor, whatever I got to do. So it's in there, and I used a pencil here, and I just traced around here. Next step is going to be I'm going to break the flange here, set it back in here, test fit again, and figure out, probably use a tipping dies or something here, and just get this, break this edge so it'll sit on top of here. Again, this does have to be removable, so I'll have to figure out some way to make this flange, and some rib nuts in here or something to hold it together. So we'll get this out, and I'll get that flange broke, and we'll get it back in here and see how it fits. All right, so we saw in that last clip, I was breaking the bottom here, and I was gonna see how this fits. Well, it fits like shit. So I'm going to change my plans here a little bit, and you can see how far that's off. Nothing fits right, so I did get my floors are moving around, the firewall is moving around. I tacked everything. I put everything in, the cleat goes back in. I actually tacked the firewall to the floor, keep everything from moving. So then I noticed, this angle is different, where the tunnel comes up here to where it catches this front part of the tunnel. So I was using my tipping dies, and I was trying to trim this angle, stretcher here, an English wheel. So I'll get that set up here for you guys, and I'll show you how I was kind of making that curve. And I think what I want to do is take and hammer this. I want this hard curve here. I want this to be a nice, even bend. So like a nice. So I'll take a hammer and die, help you work that out, and we'll see if we can get this to fit a little bit better. All right, so I already set up here 3 machines. If you can see here, we put 2 lines on there. Kind of where this needs to make the most amount of angle change. Obviously as you roll down the tunnel, it becomes a lot less. Thick tipping dies, I'm gonna try to come across here again from mark to mark. I'm gonna stretch this out again, and then smooth everything out on the English wheel. Now it's always hard to get this to go. I think because the material needs to stretch so much to make this turn. At least that's my thought anyways, and that's why I keep stretching everything back out after every time I do this. So, as you can see here, makes a little more turn there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to do this on the stretcher, keep stretching this out, and smooth it again on the wheel. So you're not getting a lot of movement here with the stretcher, but it does hold a little bit. Feel the metal moving just a little bit every time I pull it. I'm going to work a little bit past the mark that I made. And work it back and forth a couple times. Okay. Keep stretching on there. Now I'll work at the English wheel a little bit. Just to smooth everything out, stretch it the rest of the way. Okay, and you can see that nice and round again, and I want to go ahead and fit this in the car and see how close we are to getting that curve correct. And this angle here, as you can see, it's changing, and I'll see if I can smooth this out a little bit, make this look a little more natural. All right, so here's the piece back in the car. I've been working this here with tipping dies and stretching and everything. I think I learned a little trick here with the English wheel. Once it's in there, and I'll show you guys this if I have to stretch some more, but you can use it like the tipping dies. You put pressure up on the piece and just run it, where you wanted to run it, and that will literally start to bend the thing, in the shape that you want to change that angle. So I did that a couple times, or learned that towards the end there. So you can see I got tipping die marks all over it, but might need to work that a little bit more. But for right now, I'm gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna move on to here. You can see, like I showed you earlier, this is not where it needs to be. This needs to be down a little bit tighter, and the front also needs to be bent. So I'm gonna pull this out and hammer this flat and make a new line on here and try to get that a little closer to where it needs to be. And try to get the passenger side done first, and then the driver's side might need a little bit more work. It's a little wackier on that side, so we'll see if we can get one side to fit, and we'll keep working this for you guys. All right, guys, so I'm working this off camera here a little bit. Just trying to get the fit right here. I showed you, changing this angle here, and trying to get this lined up here, and it's been a real nightmare trying to get that right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to kind of work this side here, like I said earlier. Got the cleat goes in here, as you can see around. I'm gonna try to pull these down tight And if I have to, I'm going to re-hit this again, this bend again. It's been a nightmare trying to get that right. Got 2 or 3 attempts on it and had to hammer it flat a couple times. So I'm going to take a little work to clean that up. But I'm going to put 2 more clecos in there and hold this tight. Hopefully we can get this side where it needs to be. All right, fits pretty good here, guys. It's nice and tight on the tunnel here. It's nice and tight on the firewall and all into here. The only issue is right here is a little gap. So one more time, I'm gonna have to bend this thing. Front's good here. Looks like I'm about 1/8 high here. So I'm gonna move that down another 1/8, hammer flat, move it down another 1/8, bend it, and hopefully that's the last time. And the passenger side will fit correctly. So the clecos are in there, as you can see. It's fairly tight. So we're gonna roll over here to the driver's side, which the tunnel's got a little bit of a funky kind of flat spot in here that I couldn't quite get out when I was rolling everything. So it's just gonna call it good, which actually probably works out well because it gives me more room for my gas pedal. So I'm gonna call that a good mistake. So anyways, so this, when I made this flange here, it obviously wasn't quite right. So as you can see, it's wanting to push the firewall forward. I put a line here, and it's about I'd say about a 1/2 inch or so, maybe a little bit more, that this flange is gonna need to move. So what I did is I just pushed it forward so it was tight on the tunnel here. I put a little tack on here because I didn't have any other way to hold it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple clecos in here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and mark this here where this flange needs to move, and I'm gonna hammer that flat again, and then use my tipping dies and try to put a new flange on there that's in the correct spot so it's not pushing the firewall all weird, and get that where it needs to be. So let me get the camera set up here, and I will get the clecos drilled here for you guys, and then move on to the fixing that flange. So moving forward here with the this tunnel piece, and got it fitting here pretty well. You saw I had to rework this flange a little bit, and I got it pretty close. It was a little off, I had to keep working that. We're shrinking, stretching here, using the wheel about 1,000 times in and out, but pretty happy with the fit here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pull this thing out, and I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit. I do wanna put, roll some, possibly bead roll it, do something. But I'm gonna wait till the floors are all welded in and the firewall's all done, welded in. Everything's tied in, because I don't wanna do something and then have to hammer back out or whatever. It's really pretty close. So I'm just gonna clean it up for you guys here, and to just get the fit, make it look pretty for now, and then I will go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, like I said, I think I'll wrap this video up here. I got the piece about 80% done, and that's as far as I'm going to take it until I get everything welded in the car and make sure it's going to move, because I want to start putting rib nuts in there and maybe adding some bead lines or something, and something's got to be changed or moved. So just going to put it in there for now, and that's my goal, was to get that done so I can start doing pedals. Steering is about halfway done, which is another video that I just got put up. So just want to show the finished product for you guys here. And I'm pretty happy how this piece came out. Very complicated piece. Took a lot of ins and outs to get it fit, and I'd say the fit is 8.5 out of 10. It's a little on the one side of the firewall there. It's got to pull a little bit, and you got to pull it down with some screws. But I think once you know, you get the rib nuts in there, and it's going to fit pretty damn good. Well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Happy with how this came out, and we're going to keep moving here. Working the steering, pedals, maybe build some kind of gas pedal, and get all that kind of stuff for you guys. So just want to say thanks for watching, and I will see you next time at Thrasher's Ghetto Fab.